Welcome back to episode 283 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my man Grizz, and we are doing a very interesting Christmas episode this year.
You're celebrating the holidays, baby.
Yeah, we're celebrating the holiday. I guess this technically is Jesus related. So we figured, why the fuck not do it?
Unintentional fucking connection there too. Good deal for us, man.
Well,
we made this work. Happy fucking Christmas.
Well, we're in our demonic December, and this is a fucking wild movie that has to do with demons, has to do with possession, has to do with Jesus, the Antichrist, all sorts of borderline Illuminati type stuff, I guess you could say, right? This is like straight out of almost like an Assassin's Creed game or something like that.
This is perfection. This takes my two favorite kinds of fucking movies, ultra fucking gory movies, and then like hardcore, like evil fucking religious based movies, and it's like the most epic combination of what was that other one that we'll talk about. We haven't even fucking rolled the intro yet. I'm already ready to go off on this goddamn movie, dude.
Yeah, you know what? Let's hit that intro now because I'm fucking ready to go. Jim Van Bever.
I was just gonna say,
dude,
did you catch another very important name in this introduction, like credits, that is like highly associated with our show and someone that we love dearly? Did you catch another name?
Marcus Koch's.
Absolutely, dude. Did all the special effects for this movie, and it's after like I realized that going in after watching this again, I was like, dude, it is so much his fucking work on display here.
Oh yeah,
like some of these scenes, like they actually do have like 100 Tears kind of like feel to them as far as like the type of like blood and gore that's associated with it. I had such a different appreciation. This is like probably like my third watch this time going into it. I'd seen it before this, and now deep diving it, taking the notes and paying attention, I was like, dude, everybody that's fucking awesome really fucking got down in this movie.
What's up, Alan Contation, silhouetted animator, and I'm gonna say, is it Stefan or Steven? Micey? You gotta.
I've always called him Steven, so I'm probably fucking up.
Yeah.
There's our boy Kyrie coming through, dude.
What is ATGNAT? Who are you? I'm gonna be like, who the fuck is?
I was gonna take a shot in the dark, and it's gonna be fucking way up. Appreciate everybody coming though. You guys are fucking awesome. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the official celebration, and we're getting down with the Song of Solomon, dude. I was saying before, I cut my own self off from getting too ahead of myself here. This is like a perfect combination of the different things that I love: demonic possession, occult, Satanism, all these different things. I love movies about that, and then I love things that are just ultra fucking violent and gory, especially when they're done in like a really good way like this and not CGI'd all the hell. But another movie that like it's similar but a different vibe completely that we did is that Night of the Beast. Is that what it's called? That Spanish movie that has it's like a heavy metal
Day of the Beast,
Antichrist. Is that what? Yeah, Day of the Beast. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
fucking these two movies, I would just love to I could watch these back to back all the fucking time, man.
Well, technically, these are all homages to the Guinea Pig series. This is technically called American Guinea Pig: The Song of Solomon, and as you know, we've covered one of the Guinea Pig movies already on this podcast. You could go back and listen to that one.
The original Japanese ones we've covered before, not the unearthed.
Yeah. We haven't done any of the other ones yet. It's a whole series.
Yes.
You like which one is the one you like? Bouquet.
I like the original one, the bouquet of buckets or
bouquet of guts and gore, right?
Yeah, bouquet of guts and gore. Yeah. I especially have an affinity for that one because I helped crowdsource my measly donation, but they crowdsourced that film and stuff like that. I watched the whole process come together, and then seeing that movie for the first time, completely fucking shocking and awesome, man.
Have you ever seen the Sacrifice one?
Dude, that is one that legitimately fucked me up from watching the dick scenes in that fucking movie, dude.
They're hanging dong and doing damage,
mutilating dog, dude. And dude, I'm telling you, when I say a movie has never made a chill run up my spine before.
That's a brutal one, man.
That one fucking terrified me. Not oh, this is spooky, in a way that's the mutilation and destruction that's happening is absolutely terrifying.
Brutal. It's brutal. This one I feel has the most. The Song of Solomon has the most of I guess a quote unquote real movie feeling. It has a story and everything. It's more of a complete, first act, second act, third act, fourth act, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's a complete story, while a lot of the other ones are more like the Guinea Pig movies, where it's a showing of special effects and gore scenes and everything like that. Not that they're bad,
violence
dude.
Is rough.
Yeah. Sacrifice is fucking wild. That's one that we probably will cover that one day. I think we could do a whole bunch of.
I don't know about the clips we're gonna fucking.
There's a lot of nudity in that. A lot of male nudity also. We'll see. Maybe we could do it with something else, because it's a pretty short movie if I remember. Right?
Yeah, it's not long. Even with this movie, the way that the violence that escapades in this movie or escalates in this movie, it escapades, it does all kinds of things. But the way it builds up, it's so hyper realistic at times that I was man, this is gonna be a rough one to show, because this gets wild.
Yeah, you have to know.
There's even certain things that we can't fucking even I don't feel like we could fucking show from this movie.
Yeah, I took stuff that kind of gives you the general idea of what's going on. We had some scenes go on pretty long. It keeps going and going, and we're not going to make you sit through 3 minutes of somebody fucking screaming and puking up their guts, which is an awesome scene, but for the podcast's sake, I don't think it's really going to work. But we did take what we thought would be presentable for the YouTube show, at least, and things that would be entertaining for our audience listening via podcast. I think we have a pretty good balance. We got a bunch of shit from this, but some of the other entries in this series would be a lot harder to do visually here, right? We would have to do a lot of editing, a lot of creative editing, and sometimes it isn't worth it for the, you're better off just seeing it.
And fair warning, going into any of these, unearthed films, this is a company that doesn't hold back, and it's going to show things that, might, be very uncomfortable, or push the boundaries
might
of
offend you maybe.
Yeah, it definitely pushes that of what's cinematically art and what's just offensive and stuff. For I think me and Mike, that's just nom, 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 nom. give me more of that shit,
Yeah.
But I could definitely see how for other people it's a tough, there's tough scenes in this movie that might turn people off in a pretty gnarly way. But with that being said, I think that that's what makes modern film, I think it's important to push those limits and take things as far as you are, especially with a story like this. This is a very, what I feel to be, if demonic possession was real, if a person was actually possessed by a demon, it would be a fucking nightmare. It wouldn't be like, oh, their head's spinning, they're puking. Like,
Yeah, no, it would be terrible.
True, yeah, it would be fucking hell on earth, man. So I feel like this is like probably the closest depiction of what I think it would probably actually be like if this was to happen in real life.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is more, it's going to sound fucking crazy that we're saying this, but it's a more realistic depiction of if like this supernatural shit could happen, like this other stuff could happen too. And it's pretty cool. It's a great story in general. Do you want to give the synopsis or do you want me to?
I mean, it's pretty simple. The story is basically laid out for us where we have a young woman who's just graduated college. I don't know if she graduated college, but she was in college. And, she's having these horrible, visions, and her behaviors become erratic. And, we soon learn that she's possessed by a demon who is wreaking fucking havoc upon everybody in her life. The church sends in all guns blazing to no avail.
Which is like a pretty cool thing. They do that in a lot of exorcism movies where like, they got to send priest after priest and bad things happen and stuff. But this is like fucking crazy. No, they're like sending them to the fucking meat grinder. Silhouetted animator. Time to call John Constantine in that instance. I would say he is the one you would call for something like this because this is some fucking next level Antichrist shit. So you want to get into the movie? I think it's time
I think it's absolutely time.
So you were saying that she's starting to have like these dreams and everything. And this movie starts before we even get into that. This movie starts in like an insane fucking way. You have this dude who's like speaking kind of irrationally, but like as it goes on, it gets like crazier and crazier. He starts getting more and more hysterical.
Like a monologue too, because you don't see anybody else that he's speaking to. He's just like holding this knife and just fucking erratically like, and he's like saying how like the daughter's made like allegations against him, and it's ruining his fucking life.
Yeah, I tried so hard and all that.
Heavy opening, bro.
And he basically gets on his knees and like gives himself a fucking Colombian necktie. And we have the clip here. It's actually longer than this, but this is actually pretty fucking awesome. So as you can see, this dude is fucking for the people listening at home,
don't do it.
He literally just cuts his throat with like a steak knife. Reaches in, he's currently feeling for something within his neck. You see his skin moving, and he pulls out his own tongue. And it is insanely gnarly. Puts his hands together in the sign of
legitimately
prayer.
How this movie starts. And like you're just like, it's time to buckle the fuck up. Because if this is the opening, it's only gonna get better from here, or worse, depending on how you look at it.
One thing I'm gonna say is I think you kind of have an idea of what this movie's gonna be like by like the DVD Blu-ray cover art.
It's great.
Yeah, this is like the combo version that has 3 discs. Pretty fucking cool, actually. Let's see if I can show each thing here.
I like that it has like the different art for the girl and stuff.
Yeah, and there's like a picture of everybody behind the thing. But I think it also has a what is this? Blu-ray, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. What is this? DVD and the soundtrack. This actually has the
soundtrack too. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. I feel like just from the box art alone, you kind of know what you're getting into. But if you didn't, and you're just streaming this on Tubi or whatnot, that opening like 5 minutes will really prime you for the rest of the film. They really do not relent throughout the whole thing. It actually kind of escalates. It keeps getting like more and more fucked up.
A lot of times in modern movies like this, a big fault that I have a hard time with is the acting. And I don't want to pretend that like a lot of the acting in this movie is great, because it's the delivery is not of like a high caliber at certain points. There's certain weak actors in this movie, but it is okay, man, because it's so strong. on its story, and it's so strong on the delivery of like the evil and the intent of evil that's happening around this family and everything,
Yeah.
that I am so capable of overlooking those like I guess they're flaws, but like they don't feel like flaws to me in this movie. They're just like, okay, this is probably a budgetary restraint. These are the people that they got. They're obviously not A-listers, even B-listers for that matter. They're just fucking some wannabe actors that are making it work, dude.
Not Jim Van Bever, man.
And the one person that I think is really amazing in this movie is the possessed girl. She fucking
yeah,
writes it the fuck home, dude. She never like, it feels so corrupted. Like her body feels so fucking like violated and corrupt by this demon throughout the whole thing. I'm like, my hat's off to her for like really getting in there and doing that.
Well, you're going to see throughout the film and throughout the clips that we show that she gets more and more transformed into this demonic entity, and she starts looking more and more fucked up. But in the beginning, when she's like first talking to the psychologist or psychiatrist or whatnot, you see like there's like small things that they do that lead you up to they lead you up to the full possession, right? And this is one scene where she's talking to this dude and she's talking about her dreams and everything, and she's saying how she dreams of slavery and how she was once a slave but like let free by like King Solomon, and she was he was tasked with helping build the Tower of Babel and everything. But something that's really cool about it is she's talking like, you know, semi-normally, but they show like her eyes change between like her normal eyes and like these demonic looking cat eyes. It almost looks like there's like two like pupils. Yeah, well, yeah, like stuck together in one eye. But like this is a pretty cool scene here. It also sets the tone for a lot of what's about to happen.
Sometimes I dream that I was enslaved.
Enslaved?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
The king of Babylon forced me to be a slave and help him build the Tower of Babel.
I don't understand.
It's
Here
more
she
of a
looks
memory,
up,
really.
and he's like, "What the
I was
fuck?"
freed by the King Solomon.
Yeah, his reaction's great.
Yeah, her like eyes are all fucking freaky looking at this point. They're yellow.
That scene is actually really awesome. It's probably some of like the best acting in the film too, by everybody involved. Like that therapist dude I thought was fantastic. They have this like back and forth going on where the mom is there and she's like, fucking something's wrong, and she's just being so like, her delivery is just that, being like saying these really weird things, but then she'll like slip back into like, she's like talking about her dreams, and that's one of her dreams. But then she's like, oh, but sometimes I just dream about, bad test exams and fucking ponies and shit. And it's just like, dude, what the fuck? But he finally like realizes that like, all right, like this isn't like a fucking counselor thing that like a family counselor is going to be able to handle. Like, we need a fucking priest. There's something super evil going on here. And those contacts were just fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
And we see like that continue on throughout the movie, and it gets better and better in my opinion. Like when the fucking eyes turn into the 3 eyeball fucking in each eye, that's my favorite demon look I've ever fucking seen in my life, dude.
Super evil looking. Sick. Yeah, that's awesome. So the church is like kind of aware of what's going on too, because there's like this whole like subplot where there's like this underbelly of the Catholic Church that like, they're sending all these priests. What do they say? Call them wartime priests, right?
Yeah,
like something
priests
is going on, and like they have a plan. You kind of get the feeling that something's like a little off, but they don't really reveal that until the end. But they first send fucking Jim Van Bever over with some other guy, and boy, do they suffer quite the horrible fate, right?
What I love too about this is that like the guy who like goes to Jim and he's giving him all this stuff, and it's like all these like super crazy like historical like artifacts, like this golden Bible that there was only 3 of them, and like these special crosses. Like and it continues to happen throughout the movie where there's like, all right, well now you're gonna get this other piece of really fucking crazy Christian memorabilia.
It's all shit. It's all shit that would be from like Diablo. Like, oh, like here's like the armor of Michael the Archangel, or like Saint Peter's thigh bone turned into a blade, like all sorts of like crazy shit.
Dude, what do you think of this? Like, this is something that I'm not like. I don't know if this is like, Catholicism, fucking like, true to the fucking cause or whatever, or if this is just like made up for this movie. But I absolutely love the idea that if you're an exorcism priest and you fail the exorcism, that your fucking soul is condemned to hell.
Yeah, dude, I love
That's
that. Like
fucking awesome.
soul for a soul, right? And if you fail, you're fucked too.
I've never heard that before, but if that's like doctrine, that's how it fucking is, awesome. I think that's fair as fuck, dude.
I've never heard that before. I don't think that's ever been used in another movie. I feel like it's always just like that possessed person's soul is like fucking done, and like the priest dies or
there's
whatnot.
a story, dude. Like, there is a cool movie about like a legitimate army of priests who are like fighting to like, their soul one-on-one to like continue to like save humanity and shit. Like, that's a cool fucking concept.
That is a fucking cool thing.
The idea of like a damned priest is just cool as fuck.
I always loved like the idea of shit like that, where like there really is like a fucking quote unquote physical battle going on. Also, like Constantine, like that. I always thought that was such a fucking awesome idea. Or even like they had like the game and everything of Dante's Inferno, like where you're going through like the whole like fucking circles of hell and all that shit. And I feel like this is like really like connected to that. Like that movie Baskin is another thing. Like I love when they're connecting things to, like hell is real. And like things can happen on earth that will damn you forever. And it's terrible. It's not just some bullshit. Like it's going to be a horrible experience. And I feel like this movie like really like shows you that by the physical manifestation of like, at one point she says like, let me see your sins. And he starts like fucking bubbling over. Like it's fucked up.
It just like, dude, this idea of like, a soul for these priests, amazing concept. And like, you could really tell like Stephen Biro, he did the writing and the directing of this movie. Mm-hmm. And this dude either is just like super into like, Catholicism lore and stuff like that, or he just did his fucking homework for this, because everything is like so fucking detailed. Like they talk about so many different things in depth, and like it just like even like the Latin and shit like that. That's speaking. It feels very authentic, man. So
hey, I'll you know what? I'm not gonna look into it anymore. I'll take it for what it is. I really like it. But these two priests that first get sent in, like the first line of defense, I guess you could say, they both get fucked up pretty fucking quickly. And
you expect this?
Yeah, of course. It was only
expected the first two priests to just go in and get wiped out.
Yeah, dude, it was like 20 minutes into the movie and you didn't even see the dude from the cover of the fucking thing yet. So
I thought that, the helper for sure, but I thought our other man there, I thought he was going forward. I thought he was like going to be like the guy in the end.
Yeah, nope,
he's not. He's not.
So like the helper dude, he's the first one to go, and he gets it pretty bad, right? Like this is a fucking terrible way to die. He basically gets possessed or like force possessed, and he's made to yank his own fucking tongue out of his mouth. He's already, but you knew something was going to happen to him because he starts breaking like immediately, like within.
Yeah, she like calls him an adulterer, and it fucks him up, dude. Like, so it's like, okay, obviously something happened, bro. Like, but she also calls the other one like
I don't know if we can say that word on here, but
I don't know if I should say that word or not. Yeah. She says something about the other one too that's not good about fucking Catholic fucking priest, and that they both just start like, he's like, no, don't fucking listen to her, but the adulterer one is like, bro, fucking, I'm not an adulterer. He's fucked up in the head about it and
he's
stuff.
He's getting really, really defensive. William Blasco, Merry Christmas to you too, my man.
Dude, he's a Christian and he was direct contact with the Catholic Church. That's crazy that Stephen Biro is a Christian and like That blows my fucking mind, to be
This is
honest with
based
you.
on a true story. This is real
You
shit.
know, like,
But
stuff he
let's
puts out is gnarly. So
let's see that weak motherfucker fucking rip his own tongue out, though. How about that? Merry Christmas. There's Jim. He's sitting in fear. This guy's literally just putting two hands into his mouth, grabbing his tongue and ripping it the fuck out. That is absolutely disgusting.
Merry fucking
And
Christmas.
yeah, I would not like to do that. How about that? That's a good way to put it.
Ugh, rough.
It's rough. Not as rough as
Let's say not as rough as Jim's ending.
yeah, Jim's ending, unfortunately, is way, way worse. He is forced to pull his own fucking eyes out. This clip is a little bit longer, but it's worth it because you see what kind of shit is going on. I was not expecting this, though. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I didn't expect him to just.
I said I thought the other dude was fucking perfect fodder for getting some like gnarly shit to happen to him. But you know, it's fucking Jim. I'm like, all right, this is gonna go a little while with our man here.
Yeah, he's
But
in this
then
for a little bit.
happens, and I'm like, dude, so left field, but so fucking awesome.
Well, she says that she's gonna fucking make him like pay for like all this shit. Like she's gonna, what was it, like something like try him 7 times or something like that, right? Like
She
that's
does, bro. She
yeah.
fucking tries this motherfucker.
Yeah, so this is Jim pulling his fucking eyes. Goose is not doing well in his older age. Her eyes are like, the pupils are getting bigger and more like elongated. That's Jim Van Bever just fucking screaming and grabbing his eyeballs, yanking them out of his head. He's got a good scream, man.
Oh,
Look at that. Look how gnarly
I
that
love
looks.
this look. That look is so good.
Oh. Just like
Sounds,
the empty
dude. How about those
sockets.
sounds, man?
Don't watch this at work. How about that? I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. It's really kind of funny, though, like the juxtaposition of him in front of that like really nice wooden cabin. Like that really nice like finished interior. They did it. I wonder whose house that was. You think that was like an Airbnb? Like, hey, we're going to rent this for the week. And we're just going to fucking film this gruesome film.
Oh my
in
god,
here?
yeah, I hope, dude. It's just like bloodstains everywhere afterwards. He's so good.
But like you think that's it for him, right? Like he kind of drops down and like you think he's just going to sit there and die, but
Okay,
that is not the end.
For me, this is what I wasn't expecting. Like, I didn't think this movie was going to like go here, you know? Like, this is full on oozing fucking melt movie.
Yeah.
At its finest, dude.
Yeah, we get some fucking goo here.
No idea this was gonna like show up in a movie like this, but it fits so well.
Yeah, she basically makes him like start melting. There's actually a really cool scene. I actually pulled the clip to that. She like gets the book from him, like the Bible that
Oh yeah, because
Right?
like, dude, like she says, it's like there's a cool thing though with those Bibles that there was like 3 of them made, one to baptize, one for exorcisms, and like one is to raise the dead, and like, but they don't tell you which one that they have there ever. You know, they just say one was stolen. There's only 2 left. So it's like, is this the exorcism one or is this the one to fucking raise the dead?
Yeah.
Because she gets it and starts doing that fucking chanting and shit, dude. And I was like, this is one of the coolest fucking scenes ever.
But this is the coolest part is that while she's holding the Bible, her hands are smoking because obviously it's like a religious artifact.
I will scatter into the wind them that are in the utmost corners.
That is a great effect.
And
Dude. I didn't
will
even
bring
notice
the
that. At first.
calamity from all sides thereof, saith the Lord.
I like what they do with her
And
voice
there
too.
shall be a dwelling for dragons and a desolation forever.
Like how they double it sometimes.
Yeah.
With like deeper, like, you know, masculine voice underneath of it. Sometimes it sounds great.
Yeah. What a fucking like awesome I guess like atmosphere building thing. right? Like it's just like kind of
It's tension building.
yeah,
The whole
like,
movie is.
It's adding like insult to injury because you know that she's just fucking with him at this point. And things are about to get even worse. Like we said, this turns into a melt movie because our man starts getting pretty saucy, right? Gooey goose.
Sauce is a good word for it.
Yeah.
Dude.
So look at this guy. So she's just staring at him,
God.
and he's just oozing like he drank the fucking viper.
Yeah, it does look like that, dude. He looks amazing.
Now, some of these clips are a little bit shorter, like I said, because they have to, we have to fit in within certain time periods and time frames. But that should mean that you should go actually watch this movie on Tubi or buy it. I don't know if it's still. Does Unearth still carry this new? I don't know. I got this on eBay. I got a.
Pretty sure. I mean, I would imagine this is one of their big movies. So
I think I got it from fucking like the archive or something. Via like the eBay store or some shit like that. But definitely pick this up if you can because you could see all the extended screaming and gooiness on crystal clear Blu-ray televisions. So Grizz, I got a question for you.
all right, later.
After Jim melts here and he's like totally fucked, what did you think was going to happen? Obviously, they're going to send another priest. We see like this other bald dude that's from the cover. He looks like he's seriously in charge. He looks pretty competent. Did you think that this was going to be the ending, I guess, warrior for good?
Yeah, obviously. I think that's also what they try to do with this guy. They try to like, I don't want to call him a red herring because there's nothing. That's not really like the case, but he's more of like this like false hero of the fucking movie, where they the same cardinal or whatever goes to this guy. He's at the bar and he's fucking drinking hard. So you already know this. Oh, this guy's he's had a hard one. He's fucking living a life, and he's telling him he's got to fucking help this family, and he's refusing to do it. Of course. He finally fucking, gives in and he goes to that house. Man, I couldn't believe like it just like the way it felt like because he goes into that room, he lays his stuff out, he sees these fucking bodies there. He sees, our man Jim with his fucking bubbly goo head in like torturous pain. And he takes that fucking cross and he takes the knife out of the cross and almost decapitates Bieber with the fucking it's fucking wild, dude. Like that's one of the gnarliest fucking scenes of this movie. And it goes on for a while. Like he's really chopping that fucking head off.
Yeah, hold on. We actually have that clip here, man. We can show these.
Really? I didn't think we had that one.
Yeah,
dude.
no.
That's
I took a little
Roll
bit
that
of
beam
this.
footage, baby. Let's fucking see it.
He walks over with that sick ass blade. Jim looks like the thing from Dead Next Door, the zombie in the beginning.
Sound, dude. This
But,
sounds
like,
like
just-
this makes.
Yeah, just that like ASMR of goo. I like that this is like a thing that they have to do, right? I guess to like let his soul rest. It's like decapitate him with this fucking cross blade. This is
Let's put
awesome.
him out of his misery, dude.
Yeah,
Gotta make it happen.
He has to kill the other priest too. She like reanimates his ass. He turns into like a fucking zombie.
And
gets
dude,
off kinda
when
easy,
he
though.
kills him with the cross knife, which I want one of them. You know where I can get one of them motherfuckers? Hit me up. It like just spills his guts, which is a great visual, man. It looks it just looks gnarly. It looks so real. Like all the fucking like innards coming out of that priest like onto the floor and stuff. I was like, dude,
There's a lot of liquid. Trust me.
going for it.
I've seen autopsies when I was in college, and there was a lot of liquid in there.
A lot of goo.
A lot of goo to come out. But you think that this dude is going to be like the fucking demon Terminator, that he's going to be the one that saves everybody and fixes this problem, saves this girl's soul. But, you come to find out that really he was sent there for a reason, and it wasn't what you think, right? He wasn't sent there to purely fix things. He's a part in this whole fucking game that's being played.
They all really are,
Yeah. But she shows him something pretty fucking insane. There is no puking up of pea soup in this. There is no green goo foam coming out of her mouth. She straight up pukes up her fucking guts, Gates of Hell style. Actually kind of worse because it's more like
maybe worse, bro.
Yeah, because she's like coughing them up, and it's like strenuous. It's a very long sequence. The whole time our dude is looking fucking horrified. But in like the context of the movie, this is just like horrendous because every time that like they show the bed in this scene, it looks like it's just like black blood. Right, it doesn't look like it's fucking red. It looks fucking disgusting. But this is a pretty wild sequence here. She's just letting loose all these guts. You can hear. Oh, that's just like painful thinking of that.
The retching really fucking does it, man.
Yeah, and he's like standing there horrified, and she just keeps puking up pieces. And yeah, there's a good scene of a good picture of all the shit on the bed. That's not even the worst of it. It keeps going and going with more guts, more organs, and eventually she's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna need these," and she starts eating them again. It's like, oh my fucking God. Like, how much worse could this get? And guess what? It does get fucking worse.
It does get worse for sure, dude.
But not before we get a really awesome, like random, like murder by our possessed girl attacking a nurse that's helping out. This scene is pretty fucked up too. The priest ends up getting, he dies. He straight up gets killed by this fucking demon, and the nurse and the doctor and the mom are left. The dad, I think, is downstairs or some shit. No, where is the dad? No, dad's dead. Dad's dead. Dad's dead. The mom is fucking there with a doctor and a nurse, and nurse is like, she's not responding. Like, what should we do? Like, she's all fucked up on the bed, right? She's acting like she's hurt. But yeah, she's playing fucking possum, but this is like a brutal fucking kill. So she's laying there saying, "Help me."
What are we gonna do, doctor?
She just like,
oh, that pop-up looks so good, dude.
She pops up behind the nurse and just starts digging her hand into her throat and just
in her eye,
gouging out her eye too. And you just see like her eyeball.
Then takes the eyeball and shoves it into her throat hole. Is what fucking happens next.
the way that they like show the empty socket after, where like it's not just like a black hole. You could see like there's like kind of like meat in there and stuff.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't a clean break. Put it that way.
Man, that's like painful. Like everything that happens in this movie just like emits pain, right? Like it just makes you wince a little bit. It makes you fucking just like, oh.
That's what all of these guinea pig films do that, you know, Unearth is putting out. And honestly, that's what a lot of the older ones do too. I mean, not all of, some of them are a little weaker, but even those old Japanese ones, like they were made to make you feel like shit. They were made to make you feel uncomfortable, to wince in pain, to get those like chills up your spine. And like for me, this one here is just like, this is so fucking poetic, dude. Yeah. This is just like art at its fucking finest, man. I could eat this kind of movie up. Like I want a Song of Solomon too. Like I want the fucking the sequel, man.
Yeah, I would like the sequel. The Silhouetted Animator. One of the Polonium movies had John pooping out his guts, if I recall. I think that was Hallucinations, and I think they put that in Splatter Farm also, right? I think that was used in both of them.
Bridge a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but this motherfucker gets smoked by the demons, so they need another priest. They got it. This thing is still rolling. This plan is still in motion. And who do they get? This fucking like fragile, fucked up dude that lost his soul in a previous exorcism. And this is kind of where you see the Cardinals like a little fucked up, right? Like this is like the real confirmation that something is going on, because the dude is like, I can't do anything about this. Like I don't
have a soul. I'm an empty shell. And I still serve the Lord, but I'm nothing. Like
yeah, he keeps pushing him, and eventually you see like this is part of the plan, which we'll explain in a little bit. But this is where you finally see her like final form, and it is a fucking doozy. And I took the part where she decides to start breaking her own fucking limbs. Right, while she's
tied
like,
to the bed.
yeah, she's tied to the bed, and she just starts breaking her fucking limbs.
You've taken my soul. Get out!
So this dude's losing it, and she just, like between her wrist and her elbow.
Oh, that's split
Like
right
her
there.
forearm
So good,
just
dude.
splits. It's shooting blood everywhere. Oh,
From thy wrath,
sheesh.
O
And her
Lord.
hand is moving throughout the whole thing. You see it like
What's great about it, too.
grasping. That's like a whole like fucked up sequence. Because he ends up like,
So I was gonna say, what we learned there is that like really, I feel like he was really just sent there to inseminate her, right? I mean,
yeah,
that was
because
the purpose of
he's
him
a soulless,
as, like,
a soulless priest.
right,
Like,
needed to impregnate this fucking possessed woman who had this demon in her to like really birth the Antichrist.
Yeah,
is
and-
the whole purpose, that even the church is behind this.
yeah, so the whole thing is like he ends up fucking walking out of the house. First of all, I didn't grab that clip, but when he walks down the stairs, the mom and the doctor are like, "Hail Satan," and he like fucking stabs her with the fire poker, and she like fucking stabs him with a knife. No, he stabs her with a knife, and she fucking rams him with the fire poker. So
dude.
he like walks out, hands the fucking baby to the cardinal, kills himself, sticks the fucking knife in his own eye. But basically, what the whole plan is that they needed the Antichrist to be born so Jesus would come back. So, like,
Such a wild fucking concept, dude.
yeah, like they want to bring Jesus back so bad that they actually bring the Antichrist. I thought that was an awesome
That's how it
twist.
ends too. Like he just says, like,
Sorry, my
like,
son.
He just says, like, yeah, like isn't like now Jesus is definitely coming back or something like that.
Yeah, now he
I can't
shall
remember who says
return.
it to.
Yeah, like that's
So
awesome.
wild.
That like they want to bring salvation by bringing damnation first.
It's so fucking gnarly.
I really did. I really did like that twist. I thought the whole story in general was really well done. It was really, I guess, unique when it comes to these movies, especially the ones that we watched. The people get possessed in these movies and they do all sorts of weird shit. I feel like this one brings it up like another notch where like this is how it would be. Like you would really start fucking like deteriorating physically in a way that would be like sickening. And if a demon
Like a
was
rotting
really
corpse.
yeah, and if a demon was really completely in control, it would be able to break your fucking limbs. It wouldn't spin its head around. It would fucking do something to really fuck you up.
Annihilate.
Yeah, and like that,
it
what would
does.
make you like fucking really squeamish, but like seeing somebody's forearm snap in half. I just think that they did a really good job in like building up this atmosphere of just like horror. And there's really not, at no point does it feel like the demon isn't in control. Like it knows throughout the whole thing that it's able to fucking just
it's dialed in.
yeah, like they could destroy these priests. They could fucking do all this shit. I really think that this is my favorite of the series, of the American Guinea Pig series. I think this is one of my favorite possession movies or like exorcist movies of all time. I love this film. I was shocked the first time I saw it.
I was gonna say that like my favorite exorcism movie for a long time running now has been The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think that was a fucking phenomenal, portrayal of like a girl who was possessed. That girl's acting in that movie is absolutely outstanding. But it doesn't, like you just said, it doesn't ever take it to a point where I feel of true reality of what possession would be like this one does.
Yeah.
Even as like well acted and fucking creepy and spooky as that movie is, it doesn't have like the real fucking evil intent that I feel like a demon would have. And like you were saying, like it wouldn't just be like, oh, we're gonna say some fucked up stuff and look scary, where we're gonna really fucking destroy everything around us and everybody.
We're gonna
around
break
us.
We're
And
gonna
that's
break
exactly what it
everybody.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's nobody safe. Like everything is fucking corrupt. I cannot say enough good things about this movie, dude. This is a fucking 10 out of 10 home run. I would watch this every fucking day.
For sure. This is honestly one of my favorite like movies that I've seen recently. I think I've seen people talk negatively about this online and stuff. I mean, I guess if you're coming from only seeing like fucking big studio movies, if you're not coming from the realm of shot on video, low budget horror, 80s horror films, all that sort of stuff, like Italian horror, this and that, like you would think this is fucking like gold. Like this, yeah, we always say it, if this came out in 1986 and was released on tape by somebody, this would be fucking an insanely good pickup. This would be something people would want. And I feel like for a newer film, it takes it way further than a lot of the other like modern shit would.
Could you really imagine like something like this, like dropping in like 86 to 87, like this level of evil intent, man? Like, I don't feel like anything like there was gore back then, but it wasn't as like,
you never know, man. There's a lot of, I know like some of like the Japanese stuff from that time period, but like there's some shit that might come pretty close, but it wasn't done this well. I feel like this was done competently. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I don't buy many of the newer movies that we cover. I'm perfectly fine with streaming them, but this is one where I was like, yo, I'm 100% picking this up. Like, I need this for my collection because, as you know, streaming is not always reliable in the long run. They just randomly take things off and never to be seen ever again.
And if you want like people to continue to make cool fucking movies, you have to like support them through like physical media, because like that's how they're gonna make money. They're not gonna make long-term money on their fucking, short streaming deal with Tubi or something like that. Like go and fucking support these like independent filmmakers, like, Unearthed Films and stuff like that, who are consistently putting out wild fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, man. I wish I should honestly be buying this Blu-ray myself. I'm fucking up.
Well, your Christmas money, man. You could
there you go.
purchase some of that shit. But
on my fucking Media Play gift cards.
I agree though that like not many people are doing this sort of like gore film type stuff to this level, especially newer, like newer movies and newer companies, and the stuff that they distribute is like right up our alley. Maybe a lot of our fans might not like maybe 20% of it, but a lot of it is like really like wild shit to put on. Probably not stuff you're going to put on Christmas Day with the family in front of the fire, but
depends on how cool your family is.
Yeah, once in a while you gotta cut loose and step outside of your comfort zone, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Just fucking be like me and watch Dawn of the Dead fucking a million times? But Grizz,
which will probably be on Christmas anyways.
Grizz, I am a little disappointed that we didn't get to do any sort of viewing of Feeders 2 this year. I feel like that's like a perennial thing for us.
Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it?
I feel like next year,
I haven't
maybe
even watched it yet.
Dude, maybe next year we could like just get maybe we'll take the copyright strike and just watch it on here. Fuck it.
Just pay our comeuppance and just deal with it. I like that.
I would really like to do that as like a live viewing. Can we get Mark to do a live viewing with us?
That would be phenomenal.
That would be absolutely phenomenal. But Grizz, that wraps up another holiday season. We have one more film that we're going to be covering next week for our demonic December. We're going to go back to, I guess, another foreign film. And this one is I'm going to say, hopefully, right? Les Demons de la Cave. Well, I don't know. French movie. It's going to be
Demons
fun.
of the Cave?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's more like a basement, but still a good time. Like an Evil Dead ripoff, man. You're gonna dig it.
I like it.
But you could see that next week, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BadTasteVideoPodcast. You can visit our website at www.badtastevideopodcast.com, where we have all the shit that we have listed. We have a Patreon where you can find some things that aren't out there, and we may get in trouble if everybody knew what was on there, but it's okay. You can sign up for that, support us so we could pay some bills. Grizz, where can they find you specifically on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you could find me at Bad Taste Video Podcast. We were supposed to have a guest this week, but things didn't line up with schedules. Shit happens with work, etc.
That's why you're not getting a wide reel of metal also, because we were thinking we'd run over on time, but I will make it up for you guys next week with something cool. So.
Yeah, we'll have a good year-end wrap-up, actually. Maybe we'll kind of talk about also some of the shit that we like the most that we covered throughout the year.
Let's pick like our favorite albums of 2023, because that's all I do. I just cover the most recent releases and stuff like that. So we'll pick our favorite bands of 2023 and see what we come up with, man.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
We'll talk about some of the movies that we liked of 2023 that we covered. And then we're going to be on our way to our brand new, I'm not going to say setup, but we're going to do things slightly differently. We're going to have a little bit different of a look. Not going to change, it's still going to be us and everything, but I'm switching up my fucking studio around here to give us a little bit more room to work, add a little bit more production value.
Suit every week. So.
Yeah, I'm going to get a fog machine and everything. We're going to be good. I really would love to build like a straight up fucking studio set, but you would have to move to Pennsylvania. You would have to.
I would have to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you would have to.
Twist my fucking arm, dude. I'm ready to go.
Hey, that's all right, man. But I want to thank everybody for coming in the chat. Everybody, as per usual, you've been great. We love what you're doing there. Everybody,
you guys have fun.
Everybody listening at home on whatever podcast network or whatever you're listening to on Spotify, iTunes, or I don't know. What do people even fucking use nowadays? I'm not too sure.
I don't know, but word on that too is that in the near future, in like the next couple of weeks here, we will be altering our podcast feed for better audio too, so that people who just listen on the podcast line of things and not on the YouTube won't, suffer audio quality issues and stuff like that because of the video and everything. So
Yep.
If you've been having an issue with that, we're going to be getting on it and making things a million times better for you as well.
Yep. 2024, the year we go corporate. That's going to be. But I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel.
Say the movie day.
Oh, man. I gotta look at it. Les Demons de la Cave. Fuck you, man. We'll see you next week.